Eden Zero is back, and we're going straight to the Yukino Cosmos. Like, we were already there. Like, for every other Cosmos, we had to get through, like, a barrier or something, like dragons, for example. But for this one, no, it's like we teleported there. And I was right about the Yukino Cosmos. It is snowing there, because it is the winter cosmos, just like how the summer cosmos has fish and the spring cosmos has cherry blossoms, the winter has snow. But what I was not right about was the amount of snow, okay? The Yukino cosmos isn't black void. No, it is completely white. Like, it is white, space is white. It's crazy to imagine outer space being a giant blizzard. As you can imagine, they're all stunned and amazed by the fact that they're in a giant blizzard, basically. And they're all having their own excited reactions to it. My favorite is Hina's, who decides to look up how to make a snowman. And Homura's response is, don't you just roll up snow? Is there more to it than that? Like, she's generally confused. And they quickly get to Planet Mist following the coordinates they were given by Rebecca's mother. The Shining Stars, like always, stay on the ship, and everyone else goes on the planet. The best way to describe the planet would probably be Terrace if it was built by future people. It's the best way I can put it, because so we end up going to the cult's church, and it is a giant tower with dozens of clocks covering the entire building, each set to a different time. And we'll explain that why later. At the moment, we get reintroduced to Feather. Yeah, she's back. She isn't just a member of the Rachel Chase Interstellar, she's also apparently Rachel's assistant. Which I find to be kind of interesting, because later on she behaves kind of like more of a bodyguard than anything else, but at the same time, she goes off to do missions because she's a member of Interstellar. So how does she, do her bodyguarding job and also go off on missions? Doesn't that create a conflict in her duty? I mean, we do learn later they think this is like the most secure planet in all of the cosmoses, and I say think that because, well, we'll get to that. Shiggy tries to talk to her like they're old friends, which doesn't actually make sense because they didn't behave like friends in the last world. They barely interacted. It was like a 2-second thing. But even so, Feather doesn't remember him because, different timeline. And she even points this out, saying that, well, with the eyes of Venus, she does have the ability to notice discrepancies in timeline. She can't peer into them, so she doesn't know any of these people. But what I found more interesting is that she reveals that Rachel has the ability to actually peer into other timelines, so she can actually see them at free will with her Cat Leaper ability, which means so can Rebecca, because Rebecca still has Cat Leaper. While she can't use time travel here because Unit Zero is locked into place, you can use Cat Leaper to peer into other universes. That's not very helpful for, right now, but that is an interesting ability to have. But yes, it is revealed that each clock on the tower is in fact the time period in which a new universe was split off, and Rebecca sees the one where Shiki is killed. Yeah, so no one else can understand what she's going through because, once again, no one else is Cat Leaper, so she's just gonna have to live with that trauma on her own, which really sucks. Connor and Rachel are super happy to see Rebecca, as you can imagine. I mean, it's been 15 years again for them. That must really suck. You go 15 years without seeing your child, and then because of time travel, you gotta wait another 15 years. Fuck, that's 30 years. That's gotta be torture. No, wait, for Connor, it's actually more than that because he lost her right at childbirth. She lost her when she was about 4, so that means Connor, that's 19 years twice. Wow, that sucks. 38 years. Damn. Also, Connor didn't become a pilot in this universe for some reason or another. I don't know why. But he should still have his piloting skills. I mean, Homura didn't go through any training in this universe, but she still has her fighting skill because she remembers it. So, if Connor, I guess it's a muscle memory thing, maybe? I don't know, but he should be able to remember, because he does, so it's weird that he doesn't have any piloting skills. He's just a normal man. And then him and his wife decide to talk about sex in front of their daughter, which is, always creepy. So they finally start talking about the Enix 1 and how it's in the Yukino Cosmos. In fact, it's actually looking for this planet, for this very tower, actually, because in this tower is the gateway to Mother. To be specific, it's actually a machine that takes all of the Mother Ether that you gather up, you then store it together, it activates it, and it gives you a direction you can go to find Mother. And every time they do it, it's always a different direction, which means either Mother is always moving, or they never have enough sample size of Mother's Ether to get a correct destination. Either way, their machine has never actually succeeded in getting any of their adventures to Mother, so the thing has been a giant failure so far. So as you can imagine, Rebecca's freaking out the fact that basically this is place's destination number 1 for the Enix 1 and Void, and so she's worried for her parents' safety, but then they tell her, no, you don't have to worry about it, because this planet is one of 7,000. There are 6,999 dummy planets that look exactly like this one, and Yeah, I can believe that you can do that kind of thing because, once again, the entire outer space is just a blizzard, so you could easily get lost in space. Now, by the end of this chapter, all of that is completely irrelevant, but I understand why they feel so secure here. As for their Mother Ether, yeah, so we had two basically skipping things. Like, long ago, it's revealed that certain items have Mother's Ether in it, and if you find those items, you can extract the ether from it, and then if you collect enough, you can find Mother. Yeah. Okay, so during the 3-year time skip, they apparently went around finding Mother's Ether, and so all of that was off-screened. And this time around, they obviously backtracked to all the places they found Mother's Ether in the last world, because they knew where it was, for this world, and that was all completely just skipped over. So yeah, the crew of the Eden Zero just has all this Mother Ether that we have no fucking idea where they got it from. She puts it in the machine, and, well, it requires time to load, so they have nothing to do until then. She recommends just taking a bath. No, the crew of the Eden Zero is like, no, we can just wait normally, and she's like, no, let's enjoy ourselves in a bath outside. And, yeah, it is snowing and freezing outside, so Rebecca and Homura are basically, dying. Like, it is kind of ridiculous. Like, Homura consistently keeps saying, this is training, this is training. No, this is you just freezing your asses off. Now, obviously, once they get into the water, it warms them up, but still, these people grew up in the spring cosmos, and now you're making them go out naked into the winter one. So we get a lot of things revealed in this. For example, the church is no longer active. It's basically a church in name only. But more importantly, Ziggy apparently visited this place, and when he visited, he apparently also enjoyed the hot springs, but what impressed him about is the simple fact that they had the ability to unlock people's ether. So yeah, the spawn of the Ether Zero originated because of this bath. Not just that, but also, when he came here, none of the Shining Stars were with him. He was completely alone. He was traveling alone. At first, I thought this was before he created the Shining Stars, but no, Pina was there. So apparently, this is after the Shining Stars. He basically must have deactivated them somehow or erased their memories. And it was just him and Pina, for some reason, requiring a meeting with Rebecca's mother. Sister then puts on her gangster face and basically starts to yell at Pina, saying that she's keeping secrets from them. And Pina's like, no, I'm not. I've told you everything I know. Then she does some searching through her brain, and she finds out that there's a part of it that's been locked away and requires authorization to use. Everyone then just asks Rachel, okay, fine, why don't you tell us what it is? And her response is, no, it's a precious memory. It's for Pina to know. And that's the end of that. We get no more information on the adventures of Ziggy or who the Shining Stars really are. That's when Feather actually starts to detect someone and she says that they got real close in. Like, when she says real close, I mean, they're already in the bath. And while everyone is getting ready to act, basically time freezes. And the only person who's still able to move is Rebecca. In fact, she even looks at us, the audience, while trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. And the chapter ends off with some random woman in a mask and bodysuit floating above her. Most likely Joker. The only reason I say that is because there's been a lot of setup to indicate that Rebecca and Joker are going to have some kind of interaction, and this would be the perfect time. Plus, their body language just screams acrobat. What doesn't make sense is why Rachel was frozen as well. She should have Cat Leaper too, unless Cat Leaper could only be in one person at a time. Either way, I really did enjoy this chapter. We learned a lot, and at the same time, so much was kept from us. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, give a thumbs up so you can enjoy more Eden Zero and other amazing things. Thank you, and have a great day.